Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Liaquat and we are going through Mukhtasar al-Qudoori. Hanafi Fiqh. We have reached almost half of the book, or we've completed almost half of the book. If you guys enjoy my videos, check them out, hit the like, subscribe button, and please share with others so that others can benefit, inshallah. Right, so first of all, Kitab al-Kafala, new chapter now. Kafala is to do with guaranteeing. Right, so this is a person who guarantees something. Guarantee. Okay. No, that's not how you spell it, guys. Inna lillah. Right, how do you spell it? So the U, isn't it? Yeah, this I always get wrong. Guarantee. That's better. Guarantee. Alright, so this is about guaranteeing something, meaning that you underwrite something. You promise someone that you're gonna fulfill something. Right. So this is kafala. Kafil, from the word kafil. So let's say, for example, like, this word can be used kafala. Right. So kafala. Alright. So kafala, darban. Darban means two types. Kafalatun. So this is kafala bin nafsi. Alright, so bin nafsi. Nafs is self. Let me just change the pen here. Lighter pen. So kafala bin nafs. Nafs means self, individual. Kafala bil mal means wealth. Kafala bin nafsi jaiza madhmoon. It means compensated. Ihdar is to present. Right, so to present. Al makful bihi, the thing that's being guaranteed. Yeah, makful bihi, the individual that is being guaranteed. Right, so this refers to the individual or the thing that is being guaranteed. وتنعقد is contracted إذا قال تكفلت, I have done kafala بنفس فلان, نفس of so and so. أو رقبة means neck. روح soul, jasad body, head, رأس, نصف half, ثلث a third. ضمنته ضمن يضمن. أو هو علي upon me, إلي to me. أنا زعيم, I am a guarantor. قبيل on my behalf. Shart, condition. Kafala taslim is to hand over. Right, so to hand over. Makful bihi, the thing that is being guaranteed. Alright. Fi waqtin bi'aynihi. Right, so fi waqt, in a time, bi'aynihi, specific. Lazimahu, it's necessary. So lazima, ihdar, to present. Talib, the one who is seeking. Right, the one who is looking for. Al-waqt, time. Ahdara is to present. Habasa is to detain. Right, to detention. Detain. Al-hakim is judge. Sallama is to hand over. Makan is place. Yaqdir, qadara, yaqdiru is to be capable. Right, so capable. Ala muhakamati, muhakam means to judge, to pass a judgment. And then kafil is the guarantor. And then kafala is guaranteeing. Majlis is the gathering, the court. Sallama yusallimu is to hand over. Bari'a, it means to become exonerated, freed. Bariya, it means the desert or outside the city. Mata, to die. Alright. So these words should be straightforward for you guys, inshallah. Right, you guys are bright people, inshallah. I was thinking, what do you guys think of this? If before every chapter I summarize the entire chapter. Yeah, I summarize the entire chapter and then present the whole summary. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys think that's a good idea, not a good idea? And then we start the chapter? Or do you prefer me to explain as I go along? Let me know in the comments, inshallah. Okay, so now let's have a look at the tarkib. So, Kitabu al-Kafalati, هذا مبتدأ كفالة. الكفالة مبتدأ, ضربان is khabar. كفالة بالنفس وكفالة بالمال. Right, so that's going to become the badal now. These are the badal, right, of ضربان. فالكفالة بالنفس, that's مبتدأ, جائزة. والمضمون بها مبتدأ, إحضار المكفول خبر به. وتنعقد تنعقد إذا قال تكفلت بنفس فلان أو برقبته أو بروحه أو بجسده أو برأسه أو بنصفه أو بثلثه وكذلك إن قال ضمنته. Yeah, so فعل فاعل هو علي مبتدا خبر هو علي أو هو إلي أو أنا مبتدا زعيم خبر به أو أنا به قبيل. فإن شرط يشرط شرط يشرط في الكفالة تسليم. So you can say شرط. If it's شرط then it's تسليمه. If it's شرط then تسليمه مفعول به. تسليم المكفول به في وقت بعينه لزمه إحضاره إذا طالبه. Right, so this is not طالب, this is طالب يطالب مطالبة. هي مفاعلة إذا طالبه. So when he seeks it. في ذلك الوقت فإن أحضره وإلا حبسه الحاكم فاعل حتى يحضره. وإذا أحضره وسلمه في مكان يقدر المكفول له. المكفول له is the person you're guaranteeing it for. على محاكمته. So محاكمته جار مجرور. بارئ فعل الكفيل فاعل من الكفالة. وإذا تكفل به على أن يسلمه في مجلس القاضي فسلمه في السوق جار مجرور بارئ. وإن سلمه في برية لم يبرأ. وإن مات المكفول به بارئ فاعل بالنفس من كفالته. Alright, so now a lot of these chapters, the reason why I think students find them hard is just the wording. Once you get used to the wording, then it's all easy. Right? I used to find this when I was studying. I would find it quite hard to understand some of the terms. Right? So it's very simple, this chapter. It's very, very easy. So let's say, for example, you have this guy over here. Right? So this guy, he is, I don't know, let's say he is in trouble. Right, with the law. So the law has taken hold of him. Okay, this is the law. Government has taken hold of him. And he's got a court case. And he basically wants to sort out some affairs, but he promises that he's going to come to the courthouse on the right date. So let's say, for example, the date is, I don't know, let's say this is the 1st, this is the 10th, this is the 20th. He's supposed to turn up on the 20th of July. So 20th of July he's supposed to go to court. So now this law guy is going to say, I don't trust you, Will. I want a guarantor that will guarantee you that you're going to turn up. So he's got to find a guarantor now. So this guarantor is called a kafil. Okay, kafil. And the guarantor is going to guarantee, basically he's going to make sure that this troublemaker is going to turn up to court on the 20th. So now this troublemaker is called the makful bihi. And the person he's doing it for is called the makful lahu. Right? So these are the terms. So makful bihi, the guy who is the guaranteeing is being done upon or for with, and the makful lahu is the one who it's being done for. And then the kafil obviously is this guy over here. This is the basic kafala system. This is, now you can obviously use a human or you can use an item. Right? So for example, let's say another scenario where, let's say there's a guy and he wants to buy something from a shop. Right? So there's a shopkeeper and the shopkeeper says to him, I don't trust you're going to pay the money on time. So let's say, for example, again, he says that I want the money on the 20th. Right? You're going to pay me the money on the 20th. But I don't trust you're going to pay the money, so I want a guarantor. So now here steps in the guarantor now, kafil. The kafil, basically what he will do is, he'll say, if on the 20th, this customer does not pay, I will pay myself. Right? So if he doesn't pay, I will pay myself, and therefore, you don't have to worry about, this. So this guy, the kafil, the wealth is the makful bihi. Now the wealth that he's going to give on the 20th, that's the makful bihi, and the person he's going to give it to is called makful lahu. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. So he says, Kitabul Kafala, chapter of guaranteeing. Al-Kafalatu is of two types. Darban. Darb means type. So darban, two types. Kafalatun bin nafsi and kafalatun bil mal. So kafala of a individual and a kafala of wealth. Right, so you can do it on two types of things. فالكفالة بالنفس. So first of all, he starts off with kafalatu bin nafs, then we do kafalatun bil mal, most likely next lesson. Kafalatu bin nafs jaizatun is permissible. As in this kafil, he can guarantee that the makful bihi will turn up to court. Wal madhmunu biha, and the thing that is guaranteed. Madhmun here means like thing that the person has promised or has made necessary upon himself. The madhmun thing that he will guarantee is ihdarul makful bihi, is to present the makful bihi. Make sure the makful bihi turns up to court on the 20th. That's called ahdara yuhdiru ihdar, to make the makful bihi turn up. Alright, so that's basically what it's about. Okay, what kind of words can you use for kafala? Right, so for kafala, you can use any word that indicates towards guaranteeing. So he mentions a whole list of words. So for example, like takafaltu. Change the writing. So takafaltu. Okay, so you got takafaltu bi nafsi. Okay, so takafaltu bi nafsi fulanin. So and so, with so and so's life, so and so individual person. Or bi raqabatihi, or with his neck. Or bi ruhihi, or with his soul. Or bi jasadihi, or with his body. Or bi ra'sihi, or with his head. Or bi nisfihi, half of him. Or bi thuluthihi, or with a third of him. All these words you can use. Right, and that's basically what he wants to show. So tanaqidu, so kafala becomes contracted idha qala, when the kafil, he says takafaltu, I have taken guarantee, bi nafsi fulan, of so and so's life, or bi raqabati, or his neck, or bi soul, bi ruhihi, his soul, or bi jasadihi, or his body, or bi ra'sihi, or his head, or bi nisfihi, or half of him, or bi thuluthihi, right, or with a third of him. Anything which indicates towards individual, right, the individual themselves. All these words in Arabic, like neck, Arabs use that for individual. They don't use hand for individual. So if you would say, I'm going to guarantee this person's hand, they don't really kind of consider that to be a valid guarantee. So neck, soul, body, head, all these words in Arabic are used. In English, we have similar words as well. So for example, you might say, how many, what's the price per head? What's the price of the meal per head? So there you mean per individual. Yeah, so sometimes you say the word head and you intend by it individual. وَكَذَلِكَ, and likewise there's these words as well. Right, so over here, if I write these words down as well. كَذَلِكَ قَالَ ضَمِنْتُهُ. Right, so if he says ضَمِنْتُهُ, ضَمَنَ يَضْمِنُ. Right, so ضَمِنْتُهُ. Or if he says هُوَ عَلَيَّ, he is upon me, it's upon me. Yeah, or هُوَ إِلَيَّ, it's to me. Or أَنَا بِهِ زَعِيمٌ, أنا زعيم به. أنا زعيم به. أو قبيل, I am qabil. Right. So all these words have the indication or the meaning of guaranteeing in Arabic. And again, in English, you might have other words like, don't worry, if you can't do it, I'll sort it out. Yeah, come to me. So he says, وَكَذَلِكَ, and likewise in qala, if he says ضَمِنْتُهُ, I have guaranteed it, أو هُوَ عَلَيْهِ, is upon me, أو إِلَيَّ, is to me, أو أَنَا زَعِيمٌ, or I am guaranteeing with it, bihi, أو قَبِيلٌ, or qabil, meaning my behalf, I'll sort it out. Okay, right, next. Now, let's say, for example, the person says that he needs the makfula, who says he wants the person turned up on a certain time, like I told you, right? So, let's say, for example, this is the makful lahu, the law, the government, and then you have the individual who needs to turn up, and then you have the kafil. Right? And the guy has said basically he wants him to turn up on a specific date, right? Specific time. So if he says, for instance, on the 20th he has to turn up, then the kafil must guarantee that this guy will turn up. Right? So he says, فَإِن شَرَطَ, if the makful lahu makes a condition fil kafalati. Taslima, handing over the makful bihi, handing over this guy over here, fi waqtin, in a time bi'aynihi, specifically on the 20th, lazimahu, then it's necessary upon the kafil, ihdaruhu, to present him, to make him turn up. إِذَا طَالَبَهُ, when the makful lahu demands him bihi fi dhalika al-waqt, in that specific time. So if the makful lahu says, I want him turned up on the 20th, then kafil agrees, he must bring him on the 20th. So what if he brings him? So فَإِنْ أَحْضَرَهُ, if he brings him, then it's fine. Right? So normally we would have hidden here, we would have hidden the word فَبِحَا. Right? فَإِنْ أَحْضَرَهُ فَبِحَا. فَبِحَا means then with it, meaning it's good. It's like saying, if he turns it up, alhamdulillah, done. Otherwise, وَإِلَّا, otherwise, if he doesn't turn him up, if he doesn't bring him, I keep saying turn him up, turn him down, turn him up, right? So if he makes him turn up, otherwise, وَإِلَّا حَبَسَهُ الْحَاكِمْ حَتَّى يُحْذِرَهُ, otherwise the kafil is going to get locked up. So if he doesn't bring him, then Mr. Kafil will actually get locked. This pen is a bit too thick. So he will get locked in prison until, so it's put pressure on him. You lock him in prison, you put pressure on him indefinitely until he says, okay, I'll tell you the whereabouts of this individual. Right, I'll bring him to you guys. Okay. Now, where must he bring him? Like, so he's going to make him turn up. Does he have to bring him to the doors of the courthouse? Where does he have to bring him? Right. So if he doesn't mention a specific place, he just has to make him turn up to a place which is appropriate for him. All right. So let's say, for example, this is the guy, this is the kafil, and this is the makful lahu. Right. So the makful lahu, again, remember we said it's the government or, official body, whatever. So he says basically all he has to do is bring him to a place where he has jurisdiction of his judgment. Right. So let's say, for example, this is the land of the makful lahu. All the kafil has to do is wherever he drops him off over here, or he drops him over here, or he drops him off over here, as long as he can drop him off in the jurisdiction of the makful lahu, where the makful lahu can pass judgment against him, then the kafil has done his job. But if he was to bring him over somewhere else, like in the middle of the desert, and say, I've left him in the desert, that will not be considered to be valid. Right? So leaving him, it won't be considered to be valid. Right? So he has to leave him in a place where muhakama can be done. That's it. But if the makful lahu said, I want him, so he said, for example, I want him in or at the courthouse. Yeah, so at the court. I want him at the court. So technically, if he was to drop him off by the market that's near the court, right, the marketplace, then that would also be allowed. Right, the marketplace, let's say, for example, the marketplace is, so here's where the court is, and the marketplace is about here, let's say, market. That would also be allowed as well. So marketplace, because normally the markets would be places where the government would have access to, and there's a judicial system there. That's considered to be fine. So he says, وَإِذَا أَحْضَرَهُ, and when he presents him, when the kafil brings him, وَسَلَّمَهُ, and he hands him over in a place, such a place, like over here, over here, over here, يَقْدِرُ الْمَكْفُولَ لَهُ, such that the makful lahu is able to pass judgment against him. Right? So pass judgment against him, meaning that it's in a place where the law can be applied there. Badi'a al-kafilu, the kafil will become freed from his kafala, from his guaranteeing. وَإِذَا تَكَفَّلَ, number 2, when he does kafala, when the kafil agrees that he will guarantee, and yusallimahu, to hand him over in the majlis of the qadi, the gathering of the qadi, فَسَلَّمَهُ فِي السُّوقِ, and he hands him over in the market, then technically he has been exonerated from his duty, right? Because he's handing him over in a place where they can actually get him to the qadi. that would be sufficient in them days. Now in today's days, it might not be the case. It's all to do with the urf of that time. Does that make sense? So, like we said, if he made an agreement that he's going to turn him up, bring him to the Majlis al-Qadi, and he takes him to the market. In them days, the market was considered to be a place where the government could easily get hold of him, right? So that's fine. But obviously now at times it would maybe different, like we said. Okay, وَإِن سَلَّمَهُ, and if however he hands him over in the middle of the desert wilderness, بَرِيَةٍ لَمْ يَبْرَأ, he will not have become exonerated. وَإِن مَاتَ, find last masla. إِن مَاتَ الْمَكْفُولُ لَهُ, if the makful lahu, makful bihi, the person that the kafala is being done upon, if he was to die, bari al-kafilu bin nafsi min kafalati, the kafil of the nafs is now going to become exonerated from the job of kafala. Why? Because the guy's died, then it's pointless now bringing him because it's over. Khalas. That's it, guys. So let's see if you can understand today's lesson. So today's lesson, let's ask you some questions about this then. Okay, first off, how many types of kafala are there? Two types of kafala. Kafala bin nafs and kafala bil mal. Okay, what is kafala bil nafs? Kafala bin nafs is basically where someone is demanding for someone to be turned up to court and he needs a guarantee. Right, so the guy who's guaranteeing is called the kafil. He has to bring the makful bihi to the makful lahu. Okay, what kind of words can you use for kafala? So any word in the language which is used for the whole body. Right, so all of these nafs and raqaba and ruh and jasad and ra'sihi and binisfihi, thuluthihi, and even words like zamintuhu or huwa alayya, ilayya, etc. All of these words can be used for guaranteeing. Okay, next. So if the kafil says that I'm going to bring the makful on this specific date, he has to bring him on that date. What happens if he doesn't bring him on the day? So what's going to happen? He's going to be locked up, imprisoned, and until he brings the makful bihi. Okay, now if the kafil is told to bring the makful bihi to the makful lahu, where can he leave him? He can leave him anywhere where he can get access to him, right? Where the hukum can apply to him, where judgment can apply. So whether it's the north of the city or the south of the city, wherever the judge can pass a ruling, that's sufficient. What if he says, I want him to turn up at the courthouse? Then where? So in them days, you could make him turn up to the courthouse, or you could make him turn up to anything which is close to the courthouse, like the markets in them days. Okay, what if he brings him outside the city? Then he will not be considered to have fulfilled his kafala. What if the makful bihi dies? Then the kafala is over, ended. Jazakumullah khair, guys. Hope you guys benefit from this. May Allah bless all of you guys. And thank you very much for watching this. Share the videos, guys, with others. Thank you to all my patrons who support my channel on a monthly basis. If you guys want to become patrons, you want to support my channel, please consider it. It means a lot to me, helps me grow my channel as well. Check out the description below, details are there for Patreon, and you'll see a symbol coming on the screen as well. I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.